Hello? Are we here? Starting? Stream health? Am I on? Am I on? Hello? Oh, I think we're on. I think we're on. I hope everyone understood that we have got to now create things on the fly because YouTube has a bug that I didn't know about until 2 live streams ago. Actually, I just learned about the bug a couple days ago. But what's happening is the key that you put into the streaming software that sends the live stream to YouTube is not recognized after a while. It's not supposed to ever expire. You're supposed to be able to set up a live stream event and then hit stream, and that key connects the two. But if it's too old, which in the video I watched said 2 to 3 months old, it won't work. Well, all of a sudden 2 to 3 days appears to be too old. So I'd hit go and nothing would happen. So then on the fly, I had to create a new live stream and pray that Abba pulled you all in and said, "We're over here." So this time I tried to be as preemptive as possible, putting a note in the show more section of the one I just deleted, and telling my ESS Olam, the Echad Squad sisters, hey, love you guys, you're both there in the chat in blue, thank you so much. I know it is a sacrifice of praise to Elohim for you to serve in this way at this time, and I just praise Abba with everyone and you that you're here, that he is making a way when there is no way. And you know, when I was texting you guys about the last minute plan, oh yeah, I forgot to tell the ESS alum what's happening. I should probably tell them. You know, the text came back, okay, got it, yeah. And the Ruach fell on me so heavy, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to breathe when I gotta hit go. But praise Abba, he helped me collect myself. So shalom and welcome. You know, I can hear ding, 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 my mom. Oh, got it. Got it. Mom is in. Hi, guys. Love you. Ahav. Oh, goodness. Oh, and it's 2 o'clock. Perfect. All right, let me see if I can find the chat. It says good stream health. We've been on for 3 minutes. Can everybody oh, I found the chat. Oh, good. That's definitely better than the delayed version of me I was trying to ignore. All right. Woo, we'll give a woo in the chat. All right. So good to see you guys. I'm having a little trouble. It's kind of cutting off the chat. Oh, there it is. Oh, I see the dots, so I can pop it out. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, we're popping out the chat. She's sweet. Vanessa Wilkerson says, yes, YouTube is a madhouse. Indeed. So there everybody is. There's Robert and Maine and Matt and Beth McNeely, Daniel Carrick, Nikki, Genesis is here with us, Sylvia, Windfeather. Hey, there's Tiffany, our other ESS Olam. Deborah, we got Ken and Randall, Dean, Alex, Dacry, Candace, Haneke. Oh my goodness, I know I'm gonna miss you. There's Deborah. I know Valerie was in the other one. Pray for Valerie. She finds the new one. Julie, Dana, Jolly, Heather. Hey Heather, good to see you. Renato. You know, there's Hinamoa and Paul. I love you guys. You know, there's no way for me to go back into the other one now and say, hey, we're over here, because it's deleted. Oh, goodness. Daniel said he went in and watched Ken's testimony, cried like a baby. Oh, man, I did too. I really wept. And I can't imagine Ken's anticipation that is even greater than ours for having jumped into the Shamayim, like into the presence of Yahweh, and at 8 or 9 years old. It's been a long wait. You know, if it'd been me, I think I'd be out in the backyard jumping. Oh, again. Amen, John Ryan. Yeah, powerful testimony. Oh, there's Valerie. You made it. Praise Abba. All right, it's working. He's drawing everyone into the live stream. You know, it looks like, since this is a bug in YouTube that has now manifested for a 2 to 3 day old key, it looks like we're going to have to do this. I'm going to have to schedule a live stream and then right at the last minute delete it and create a new one. Then when it uploads, I'll add the thumbnail, the show more section, and, you know, clean it up. So, woo, everything's on the good list. Praise Abba, there's a reason for this. I don't know what it is, but who cares? We, Yireh, Yahweh, we worship him, we put our full attention on him. Which brings me to the study. You know, I off the top of my head, I can't remember. I think it was Aaron who said in the comments of Alan's study that was for this live stream, this should be required. Or maybe it was Cami. This should be required weekly watching. Amen, Cami. You know, I can't believe how long it's been since I've seen this one, but now that we have an even greater understanding that the Father has drawn us from where we were then to now, with the revelations coming and coming and coming faster and faster and faster as time compresses, our melta, our walks are getting tighter and faster, and we're running with more purpose, like Vanessa's study on walk with purpose. It's happening more and more and more. I watched it again and I thought, did I see this before? Of course I did, but I barely remember this. This is huge. And, you know, I got really enamored with the word truth, and one of Alan's favorite sayings became the study this morning in my heart. The Father just said, take them to 90% of the truth is no truth at all. Look at the odiote for truth, Aleph, Mem, Tau. You cannot be 90% yoked. You're either in the yoke or you're out of the yoke. It's on or off. It's binary. Now, our walks are progressive. You know, when you first slip the yoke on, you'll stumble and then you'll catch your neck, you know, on the yoke. But as you mature and grow in the Word, which is, by the way, the second oat in truth, as you are maturing, as you're being washed by and growing in the Word, completely covered from the beginning by the blood of Yeshua covering the payment for your sin, you're going your own way. You're going to stumble less, but your neck is no less in the yoke, plowing toward the mark. The He, Yahweh, is causing you to move toward. He's the lead ox. So you don't have to think about the direction. You don't know where the path is going. He does. But that's truth. You cannot be 90% yoked, or if you get immersed in baptism, you can't be 90% under the water. You're either under the water and up, or you're not. And, you know, you can't be plowing toward the mark at a 90% rate. And I'm not saying you make the mark yourself 100%. I'm saying that being yoked to the Father causes you to be moving toward the mark. If your compass is really off by 10%, by the time you are parallel to where you should have been, you're way off. So that 90% of the truth is no truth at all is illustrated completely in the word Yahweh gives us for truth. Yes, Alex Dacry, I just saw due east. Yes, exactly. You have to be going D-U-E, due east. That's perfectly toward the mark. Or by the time you've plowed your whole life, you're way off. Even if it's only a little off at the beginning, and you're in your mind, you let your mind kind of go over here and say, oh well, I'm saved. You know, I can go do this in the world, and the Father doesn't really mind. I'm covered. Well, if you keep going that way, you have slipped the yoke off you. You know, you are purposely going your own way, which we can, but those who are being drawn at this point, I believe in history, I don't think any of us have had a moment where we've thought for a second, I think I'll take the yoke off. Exactly, Tiffany. Due east, Yahweh leads and compels. And at this point, for those hearing this live, you know, on January 31st, 2020, or maybe not live, but with us, you know, generally speaking, soon, before the Nechatev, before the rapture, before our change, the drive has increased to overdrive. We want to think on Him and be with Him and talk to others about Him all the time. Nothing else interests us anymore. It's like that hymn that says, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of His marvelous face, or something like that. I think my mom is silently correcting me. But that brings me to a question that came up again, because it's such a common issue. What do we do about people in our lives who aren't into the truth? They aren't yoked to Abba Father. They aren't being washed by and growing in the Word. They aren't covered by His blood. They aren't plowing toward the mark. What if we have people we can't really avoid in our lives that we have to, you know, interact with? And I will cover it again because, praise Abba, we have new people all the time. It is a constant issue for all of us. There's a huge difference between fellowshipping, being one, echad, in mind and purpose, and being around someone, having a relationship with that person, even loving them. You can love them, which is in the worldly sense. You know, you have emotions for them, and you care about them, and you interact with them respectfully and with kindness, but you're not yoked to them through being yoked to Abba Father Yahweh. There's nothing wicked about having a relationship with someone that Abba Father has put you in close proximity with. Now, that doesn't mean we go out and seek out relationships that we don't need with people who are not yoked, because that's a good way to eat at the table of Satan and ingest what he has to offer with them. But if you're in a relationship, a marital relationship, or a parent-child, whether you're the child or the parent, with someone that isn't yoked to the Father, certainly have a respectful, kind, pleasant, as the word says, as far as it's up to you, be pleasant, relationship with them, that they can see your good deeds, your light, the deeds that He has you do, and gives you the power to achieve them. Now, I'm not talking about yakking. I'm talking about being in Him, abiding in Him. That those people might be drawn to Yahweh, that you might be the mechanism that they are, in fact, eventually drawn to the Father through the Son by seeing you. So you don't want to totally separate yourself. It's not just separating yourself from the things of the world that isn't, you know, it's that, like Alan was saying, it to separate yourself from the things of the world. No, you're going to be in the world with people in the world recognize that you're not yoked to them. And I got a visual aid. We are our own tabernacle for Yahweh. He dwells on the inside of us. Our mind is private, except to Him. Nobody can read your mind. So if you're with someone that's not really dedicated to Elohim, or and you can't get away from this relationship, they don't know what's going on in your heart and mind when you're with them. It's kind of like an invisible prayer shawl. That's what a prayer shawl is for. They would wear it, and I don't know if I'm doing this right, but they'd have it, I guess, maybe like this. And then when they wanted private Elohim time, they'd put this like this, or maybe a little lower. I don't know, I'm really gonna mess up my hair. And then they were in their own little private, where's the camera? Tent. Okay? And that, they were with people, but they weren't with people. Now, imagine that you've got your private tabernacle over you. His tent is over you. If they're not in the tent with you and Yahweh, you can be in the house with them. You can have a relationship with them, whether they're in your tent with Yahweh or not. I don't remember which live stream it was, but I said, look, don't let your guard down. Don't take your tabernacle and include someone else in it. Put it over someone else, and then you're both in there, and now you're exposed. Your mind's exposed, your heart's exposed, and you can get an arrow to the heart. Unless you are in the Ruach and discern over probably quite a while that person is also yoked to Abba Father Yahweh, and therefore not a threat to you. That's fellowship. That's what we're doing here. We're all under the same prayer shawl. Okay? So that's what the message the Father had. That's the message the Father had for today. Praise Abba. Hair still looks great, Valerie. Oh, thank you. Oh, good. I was wondering. Oh, goodness. Good to know. All right. So do we have any questions? Concerns? I'm going to put the prayer shawl down. Melody, it's the latter rain, the pure restored word. In all its deep life-changing power for people who have a renewed hunger and thirst for His perfection and righteousness. Amen. He is pouring out. And I think we are recipients of the beginning of the latter rain. Indeed, it's very exciting. Matt, I love the idea of a private tabernacle. Yes, the tabernacle really is a model of our own bodies. The temporary tent of meeting on earth. We are all the tabernacle. A study on the tabernacle is truly stunning. Joseph Prince has done a lot on the tabernacle and the correlations from the first covenant to the renewed covenant with respect to the tabernacle, and it is mind-blowing. And speaking of pastors, I am thrilled. All your comments, Matt and Beth, other people have noted that they have checked out James and find him to be anointed as well, and that they are enjoying the food Abba Father's laying out on James's table to serve. So praise Abba. Woo! Cami says, yes, me too, Tiffany. Abba has finally taught me to zip it. Woo! Yeah, me too. Hello. Isn't it fun? It's fun to be in the tabernacle, to know what we know and say, Abba, I'm available. If they ask, like, I don't remember which letter of Kepha or Peter it is, but it says always be ready for a reason for your joy. So when you're in relationship with people you're stuck with, for now, make sure your joy is evident. And your joy can't be evident if you're faking it. If you're slapping on a smile and rolling your inner eyes with this relationship, they are going to sense that and not ask you the reason for joy they don't see. Oh goodness, I forgot I asked for questions. They're scrolling by. Hey Robert, late detention. Okay. Joanne asks, is it true that only men wear the prayer shawl? You know what? I have no idea. But who cares? Jewish rules about the prayer shawl. Talk to the Father if you want to wear one. I'm sure he will be thrilled. Or use one. I honestly don't use it as a prayer shawl. I have it. It's my husband's. I grabbed it out of the bedroom for the visual, but I personally don't. Not because I'm a woman, but because I find it uncomfortable. There you go. It's a good question. Let's see. What was the name I just recommended about the tabernacle? Oh, that is Joseph Prince. He's on, I believe, TBN. A favorite of Alan's, by the way, Joseph Prince. And the only reason he stopped watching them is he canceled his cable. So he gets into a lot of the Hebraic understanding, and it really is anointed. Oh, bye, Ken. Ken has to go back to work. I'll have you too. Shalom. Daniel, look at them and say, uh-huh. Yes, Cammie agrees. Oh, shoot, it jumped. Oh, yeah, there it is. I'm almost to the bottom. If they ask, is the key. You know, key has come up a lot this week in my studies and Tiffany's studies. We were drawn to Isaiah 22:22 and were stunned to find that Yeshua, when he wrote to the letter to the church in Philadelphia, the called out ones, he was quoting Isaiah 22:22. I don't know how many of you guys knew that, but we didn't. Hello! The key of David. Yes, the key, always praying for opportunity and waiting on Elohim. Yes, the waiting on him is a form of trust, isn't it? I mean, goodness, what we have learned together is just amazing. Whew. Yes, Christine says it is actually less stressful to keep it zipped. And we thought we were reducing stress by yakking. Whoops. Let's see. Okay. And can we get links? There's no links to Joseph Prince. You have to find him on TBN, I believe. That's a cable network. James Smith. I will start putting a link to James in my show more sections. Good idea. And speaking of links, we're still collecting and waiting on the Ruach for essential studies from Ken, Tiffany, Vanessa, and me to put together a playlist for newcomers that includes all 4 channels. Just the Ruach had me bring that up, so there it is. Let's see, any more questions? I had a feeling this morning this was going to be kind of a short one. Yes, Robert, amen. Sometimes saying less is more. You know what? That reminded me of Paul, Shaul, saying, let me be minimized that he be magnified. That's not an exact quote because I didn't look it up. But yes, when we say less, he says more. The Ruach says more between us and them. And when he's allowed to speak, he can move them to ask us to say more. It's a miracle. Oh, goodness. Whoops, that's my mom. Ding, ding. Oh, my mom is helping. Thank you. My Echad mom. JosephPrince.org to go to and go to the TV schedule, she's saying. Okay. Thanks, Mom. Love you. Yeah, josephprince.org. Okay? Thank you. Yes, my mom and stepdad are they watch Joseph Prince regularly and share Melta all the time from his channel. Okay. Oh, Robert says he has seen studies by Joseph Prince on YouTube like Chuck Missler. Okay, well, he might have studies on his channel. Sorry. I've only seen him on TV. Oh, man, Matt and Beth. Matt, actually, Beth is going to join us later. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as we speak. Amen. You know that's in the word palal, to pray. Pay is your mouth speaking. And palal, that's 2 lamets, 2 steering of the Father through the Ruach and the Son. So, yeah, that's 1 mouth and 2 lamets. It's like 1 mouth and 2 ears. Oh gosh, good one. Okay. Oh good, Donald said he just found Joseph Prince. Awesome. Okay. Any more questions? As always, take who you visit for word teachings from the Father's Word. Take it in prayer to Him and do as you are led. Don't go there and say, well, caregiver said, and therefore. Always seek the Father for confirmation. And, you know, do your own walk. Don't be told what to do. Does Hanu have a channel? Not that I know of. Hanu was led to delete his channel, and as far as I know, he still does not have one. Okay. I don't see any more questions, so indeed, I received correctly this morning. It was going to be a short study, but hopefully one that has edified you, and I pray that it has. In fact, speaking of prayer, let's bow our hearts together. Oh, dear Abba Father Yahweh, we come before you again with total and utter awe in who you are. Help us to meditate on your name and your word and be drawn more and more as time compresses more, and we can sense we're at the threshold. Father, we are looking forward to stepping over it or being carried over it like a bride through the door. We're so excited, and we're so excited that you are doing this in the meantime, preparing us, making us white, washing our robes that we can be spotless and white at the wedding. We thank you and we praise you for everything you're doing, for all the revelation you've been giving us, for all the connections you've been drawing at this last second. Father, we just yearn to esteem you in our thoughts, in our actions, with all parts of our being. Like David said, if there's anything wicked in us, anything offensive in us, wash it away by your word. We thank you for the cleansing power of the blood of Yeshua and the living word, that we can stand clean before you. We pray these things in Yahweh, through Yeshua. And all the Kodashim, all the dedicated ones said, Amen. Shalom, you guys, and I think I have figured out how to stop the live stream instead of just hitting random buttons until it stops. Shalom.